One of the meanings of the Chinese New Year is that the family gets together and accompanies each other. Therefore, many young and middle-aged Chinese people will return to their hometowns during this period to have a New Year's Eve dinner with their parents and visit relatives and friends. But for many people, going home for the New Year is a huge psychological challenge. I don't dare go home for the New Year, and I'm ashamed to go home for the New Year. The New Year festival is getting closer. Just now, my daughter called me via video and said, "Mom, when will you come back? I miss you. I know you are not having a good time out there. Can you come back and be with me?" You haven't been back for a year. My academic performance has improved this year, and Grandma and Grandpa say they miss you every day. Can you come back and stay with us? I don't want a red envelope, I don't want new clothes, and I don't want you to take me out to play. I just want you to come back and stay with me. After hanging up the phone, I really couldn't control my emotions anymore. Such a young child, she seems to understand everything and know everything, but I can't go back. Reality tells me that even if I go back to that home, my parents won't be happy, and my children won't be at peace because there will be too many creditors coming to ask for debts, and some, the so-called relatives and friends, will laugh at me. I decided not to go home for this New Year festival. 35 should be a golden period of life, but unemployment's shadow has shrouded me for half a year. In the past 6 months, most of the resumes I sent out have not been replied to, and I've only had one interview. Economic pressure is everywhere. The daily expenses of children and family are like a heavy mountain. The New Year festival, a festival that carries the warmth and reunion of countless families, is a difficult hurdle in my heart. In the past, my teammates and I would return to our homes and visit our mothers during the New Year festival. But now, I am full of fear. I am afraid to face my parents. Every greeting from them seems to remind me of my current desolation. I am so scared of the seemingly caring but actually heartbreaking questions from relatives sitting together, such as how my work is and how much my salary is. The Chinese New Year is still the most important festival for Chinese people. However, in recent years, human relationships among Chinese relatives and neighbors have become increasingly distant, and many people are unwilling to return to their hometowns to celebrate the New Year. Returning home has gradually become a trend of celebrating the New Year in the local place. The New Year festival used to mean returning home, no matter how far the journey is, no matter how hard it is to buy a ticket, even if the train is so crowded that you can't even stand. Even if the highway has become a parking lot, people will go home at all costs, rushing home early just to have a reunion dinner. But in the past 2 years, celebrating the New Year festival in the local area has become popular, and people find an excuse not to go home. After a good sleep, it's considered the New Year festival is over. That's it. Is it because work has become busier or the journey has become more tiring? In fact, choosing to celebrate the New Year in the local area is more like helplessness and compromise with reality. Going home for the Chinese New Year may seem like a time for family reunion, but in reality, it often leads to endless pressure to get married, comparisons, and showing off wealth. Going home has become more and more expensive, and the pressure in my heart has also increased. This is the observation of a lady living in the countryside, contrasting the weak festive atmosphere in rural areas today. Look, the New Year is just a few days away. The whole village is deserted. There is no one to be seen. Usually, everyone who should have returned has returned. I don't know why they all stay home with their doors closed, not coming out. When we were children, the New Year was really lively for us, the 80s and 90s. The village was full of children playing, setting off firecrackers, and making noises. As soon as the 12th lunar month began, the streets and alleys were crowded with people. With still a month to the Chinese New Year, my parents bought New Year's goods, steaming buns, rice cakes, meatballs, and roasted peanuts. The festive atmosphere was robust at that time. I remember the first day of the New Year, I put on new clothes I hadn't worn for a long time, tied 2 little ponytails, and started picking up firecrackers at 2 o'clock. At that time, people set off firecrackers from midnight to 8 or 9 in the morning, and no one said it would pollute the air. Look, the government doesn't allow firecrackers anymore. The whole village seems to be very quiet except for the occasional barking of a dog. Tell me, is there still any New Year atmosphere now? Brothers, look at the point of celebrating the New Year now. Today is the 23rd day of the 12th lunar month. There are probably 5 families selling Chinese bacon in our village. I remember almost everyone in town returned just after the Laba festival. People walk through the streets, buy couplets, dry bacon, fry pork, fry dough sticks, and make dumplings. Every household is bustling with activity. Which night don't we drink until the early hours? Look now, there is no one. Maybe some are still working and some have bought houses in the city and will not return. Some very few young people lock themselves in their rooms when they come back. Why is the New Year atmosphere weaker now? It all comes down to money. Now that China's economy is deteriorating, it's becoming increasingly difficult for people to earn money working away from home, and the money they can bring home is much less than before. Vicious competition prevails in all industries, including taxis. To attract passengers, some taxi drivers reduced the fares by half and prepared snacks and fruits for them in the car. A taxi had a sticker that read, "Safe travel, half-price operation." The driver expressed the thoughts of many Zhengzhou taxi drivers. The current economic environment taxi drivers face is such that they can't pick up passengers in more than an hour. Many people can earn $27 to $41 for a whole day. We have to do this job to survive. We are also human beings, and we are also Chinese. Why is it so difficult for us to live, survive, and have a meal? Online ride-hailing can develop a market economy, but we are still in a planned economy. We have contributed all our youth to this city. Now we have white hair on both sides of our hair, and we still can't guarantee food. We also want to live. If this industry is no longer needed, then okay, dissolve it quickly. Tricycle drivers also put a lot of thought into attracting customers. Uncle, where is your horn? Princess, please get in the vehicle. Princess, please get in the car. Young master, please get in the vehicle. Oh, let's go. Please get in the vehicle. Please get in the vehicle, young master. The young master has arrived. We will all make way for you. Look ahead. Uncle, can you play it again? The young lady, the young lady, the young lady has arrived. We will all make way for you. It seems that these older drivers are really fighting for survival, not only physically but also emotionally. Price wars are everywhere, and even amusement parks are surprisingly cheap. There was no extra charge for 7 items during the Chinese New Year, $1.37 for 7 items. Can the Ferris wheel be included? Yes, the Ferris wheel, the dinosaur slide, the magic mirror palace, the starry sky house, the ring sports car, and the pirate ship. During the Chinese New Year, prices in other places have increased, but Hongshan Happy Valley is cheaper than usual. The park has no entrance fee and the parking is free, with the total cost being less than $1.37. If you do the math, you can repay your money on any attraction you choose. How bad has the Chinese economy deteriorated? People are trying to save money on food, clothing, housing, and transportation, buying fewer clothes and ordering less takeout. People have unexpectedly discovered that rice sales have also declined because of reduced consumption. I can't believe that even rice can't be sold these days. Today, a customer who sells grain and oil in the Qingyuan District Trade Plaza came to consult about a loan. He told me this year's grain and oil business is challenging. The latest statistics show that the overall sales volume of rice has dropped by 30%. I was surprised. You said the current environment is terrible and everyone is downgrading consumption. I understand you eat less meat but can't eat less rice, right? You can't go from 3 to 2 meals a day, right? So why is this happening? Ordinary Chinese people have started to carefully calculate when eating, which explains why business in the market is becoming increasingly quiet. Flower shops usually have a peak season during the Chinese New Year, especially in Guangdong. Local people are accustomed to buying some flowers before the Chinese New Year. But now the flower market is a different scene. In previous years, the market was jammed with traffic when selling New Year flowers. Now you can see that there are no people in these stalls. In the past, people were scrambling to buy. Oh, there are few people in the market, not to mention traffic jams. Now, some stalls have been opened, but they have not been stocked up. You can see that there are only a few people. Business is tough. Another empty stall. It's too complicated. It's noon now. In previous years, there would be traffic jams here, but this year there are no cars at all. People who buy flowers don't know where to go. Where are the people? This year's flower market, which is the base, is very deserted, and there are signs like this in many places. Stall transfer. Many places have this sign, which shows that the flower market business is not good. But how do you do this business? I just saw a Big Brother doing a live broadcast at the base. Before the Chinese New Year, people buy New Year festival couplets at home to make it look festive. But this year, even New Year couplets, a must-have item for the Chinese New Year, seem not to sell well. Who said selling New Year couplets before the Chinese New Year is profitable? I heard selling New Year couplets before the Chinese New Year is profitable. So I bought about $138 worth of goods. Then I set up the stall in front of my store. Today is the third day of setting up the stall. Let's see my results. I sold a little over $7 on the first day when I just put it out. Then I thought it was not bad, so I replenished the goods overnight. The next day, yesterday, I set up the stall from morning to night and sold 69 cents. Oh, I am exhausted. Today is the third day. I sold a little over $8 when I opened the store this morning. Then I had over $100 worth of goods, and now I sold some for less than $20. Oh, there is no one here. Doesn't anyone put up New Year couplets now? Let me show you my stall. It's right in front of my store. Supermarkets and markets are usually busiest before the Chinese New Year, but this year the customer flow is very low. Look, there are no customers here for the New Year. They all went on holiday early. Yes, these people are all sellers. There are no buyers, you see. Let me tell you about this year's consumption. If you can buy or not, choose not to buy. If you can eat or not, definitely decide not to eat. If you can wear new clothes or not, choose not to wear them. A box of sunshine roses at $2.90 sold today. Melon seeds sold for $9.66 today. And half a board of tofu was left overnight. Today is another day of group destruction. It's too tricky. This is the scene inside the supermarket. I just want to ask, where are the people? It's such a big market, but no one can bargain with me. It doesn't matter whether it's for sale. If you want to pay attention, come and take a look. There's not even a shadow of a person. Bread is not selling well. Ready-to-eat food isn't selling well, and the beer business isn't. No one bought drinks. Fruits are not selling well either. No one eats snacks anymore. I have grown up, but I think this year is the strangest. Today, I went to charge my car, and then my wife and I went to the supermarket for a while. We found that there were only a few people in the supermarket. It seems that everywhere is very deserted this year. Logically, it's close to the New Year, and everyone will go to the supermarket to buy some necessities for the New Year, but this year there was no such thing. I feel that this cannot be explained by consumption downgrades. Is it because everyone has not made money or has no money? It shouldn't be like this. Logically, retired employees don't have such problems. I don't know if your city has such a situation this year. I think it's very strange. Although fierce competition exists in all walks of life in China, overall prices are still rising. I don't know what's wrong with the prices. I only bought a few things which cost over $6. This bag of candy is either 83 cents or 97 cents. Oh my god, are the prices going to skyrocket? Why is people spending power during the Chinese New Year not as high as before? The following video may give you the answer. On January 17, 2025, China officially released economic data for 2024, claiming that the economy will grow at about 5% in 2024. However, judging by the situation before the Chinese New Year, this obviously cannot accurately reflect the people's real lives. To this end, a blogger gave the reason. In 2024, China's per capita disposable income is $5,703, an increase of 5.1% over the year's first half. Let me first explain what this per capita disposable income means. You can understand it as the money you should get. That is, the actual money you get after cutting various taxes and insurance. However, one thing to note is that this statistic includes children and the elderly. Suppose your family has 4 people, and your family's average annual income is $22,777. If your family has an urban household registration, a family of 4 is $7,471 multiplied by 4, equaling $29,914. For rural household registration, it's $3,191 multiplied by 4, which equals $12,810. Brothers, have you reached the target? It seems that the Chinese are becoming increasingly savvy. Although the CCP has repeatedly deceived the people and made the economic data look good, the people themselves know best how much money is in their pockets. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.